I want
Or
a statement
question.
first. I mean, I give credit to our kids, battled, found ways to do what we had to do at the end of the game to come out with a victory. Again, a victory is a victory. But, all three phases tonight did not play like I thought we would or how we can. In a regard, that's my fault as a head football coach. Got to get that fixed. We offensively, the first half, as I look at it, we had 4 possessions. We had a 3-and-out. When we were backed up, we made a critical mistake on a kick coming out of the end zone. We just got to take a knee back there. When the ball hits, we got to take a knee. Then we're 3-and-out. After they kicked the next field goal, which we gave up 2 big third down. We had 3rd and 8 on the first drive. And, that was – can't give those up. We're giving way too many of those up. That's got to stop. And then we take the ball, go right down and score. Did a really good job. Then get it back, take it right back down again. Makes a great play, get a little screen play out there. We get a critical holding call, gets us back, get something in 20 because we were on the 2, ready to make it 14-3, get control of the football game. 2 straight drives of scoring. Then we have a 3rd and 11. Got a guy runs a great route, get beat on the backside, ball hits out of his hand as we're throwing it, had a chance to score. They get a fumble, get momentum in the game, and we get it one more time. We're backed up, have 3 plays very poorly, and out, and half's over. And we give up a bunch of 3rd and longs in that situation, but we battle back, and then had another critical, catching a punt in the end zone and trying to run out. Then we get a penalty in there. That's coaching, and that's my fault as a head football coach. Can't happen. Got to get that fixed, and I'll make sure it gets fixed. I promise. Come out the second half, then come in, regroup, play a bad half. Come out. Get a big play, get a drive, go down, score a touchdown, get momentum in the game, get up 2 scores. You're starting to play, getting a rhythm because we had moved the ball well offensively in the first half. So, had the penalty. I'm disappointed. We end up getting a pick, but it's all the way down the 8-yard line. We give up 2 big third downs on defense. That's when you got to get a 3-and-out, got to get a critical stop, get the ball back. You got momentum in the game. You go score again and start take control of the game. Didn't do that. And after that, when they got the turnover down there, which they did get a stop, which was critical, then we come back and we're driving, got a great drive, and we fumble the ball. Get a 12-yard gain, we're sliding. Got to protect the football. It's ridiculous. And then come back, they drive down, score a touchdown, all of a sudden you're in a dogfight. Then we're moving the ball back and forth. We get down and kick a field goal the next drive, which was critical. Had shots at the end zone, could have come down on one of those plays on under route. And then they come back and they're driving defense, they move it, but then defense gets a big turnover, get a big stop. They got some critical sacks, give up some third. They were 7. That team was 7-17 on third down. A lot of those were 3rd and longs too, which is something we got to get fixed. But then we got a big turnover. Got a couple of those. Leon gets a big interception. We got a couple of big stops on sacks. Then we come right back up and we're moving it, and then we fumble. We get 2 big runs. Then we get an offsides and we throw a 6-8 yard pass, catch it, fumble it. They get it back. Defense gets a big turnover after that. Come back. We go 3rd and 1, miss a block. Come back 4th and 1, got it. We're pulling it. Probably going to walk in the end zone. On the pull, we clamp down on the pull. He pulls it. Ball's on the ground on 4th down. They get a chance to win the game instead of us going and scoring. But then the defense comes up and gets big sacks in the end. So, and credit, made the plays when we had to make them. But, man, too much inconsistency, all 3 phases. And that's me as a coach. You got to make sure it doesn't happen. Got to give them a better frame of mind to play. The kids have toughness. We have good kids. We have good players. We just got to get them to play better, and that's my fault. So we'll work on that and move forward.
All right, the first question is from Gabe Box.
About all your questions right there.
First question is from Gabe Bach at TexAgs.com.
Yeah, Coach, just I guess back to the penalties too, and just how discouraging is that, Coach? And you're about to go into kind of a gauntlet of games here at Bama, Florida at home, and then Mississippi State just beat LSU on the road. How vital is it that you clean that up? Well,
like I say, pre-snap penalties in general, turnovers, negative plays. You got to eliminate them. You got to clean them up bad. Had one of the most penalty-free camps we've had. And we have officials at every camp. We've done a good job not holding, getting things, get a critical hold on a slip play that puts the game in 14-3 and you got momentum in the game. Then get one on offsides on one. Got a critical at the end of the game, got a critical penalty on defense to give them a chance to get the ball down. And we got a big sack to put them back there that is down in a scoring drive. So, those penalties have to get out of there. I was looking right here where we have we had 8 penalties for 50 yards. A lot of little knick-knack things and a couple critical ones. So we got to get them cleaned up and the turnovers.
Next question is from Zach at Bryan Broadcasting.
Yeah, Jimbo, just your overall thoughts on Kellen's performance tonight and just the turnovers that you did have on offense.
Well, he had one critical fumble. The other one, when you're throwing the ball in the back and the tackle gets beat around the end, you can't see that. Any turnover by quarterbacks there, but you're throwing it, you're on time, you're doing it. They got to protect too. So turnovers go on both sides. But any turnover a quarterback has is always him. So you can't have any. There's no excuse for a turnover period. But you got to get that cleaned up. We got to block better. So we had a block and a chip on that when we didn't get it done. So we knew that was coming. So we got to get that taken up. The other one was a critical fumble on the other. The other one, he's pulling the ball. We clamped down on it. He's going to pull on 4th and 1 and probably walk in the end zone. So when he pulled it out, so we got to get that feel better too. So that's on 2 of them.
And just Kellen's overall performance tonight.
He made some big plays, made a big 3rd down throw, a couple things, but very, very so he can play much better. He's had a much better camp than he did tonight and where he was at. But continue to get better and work hard. Like I said, we only have 55 plays.
Next question's from Travis Brown at the Bryan College Station.
I'll watch the film. I'll give you a better evaluation after I watch the film too. Say some of the reasons things happen.
Hey, Coach. On the same hand, how much were y'all following Ken Seals through the recruitment process, and what did you think of his college debut?
He played really well. He did a good job in here. Come in the first game, as a true freshman. I kept him in the game and had a chance to win the game at the end. Guy did a good job. Like I said, we had him in camp. I liked him. Thought he was a really good player. Great young man.
Next question is from Cedric Golden at the Austin American-Statesman.
Hey, Jimbo. What do you think of your defense? There were some tight parts down there at the end with your offense. They kind of saved your bacon there late. What do you think about them?
They did a little bit, and I thought they played well at the end of the game, and I thought they gave up too much earlier in the game. I thought they gave up in the critical momentum things and giving up drive and field position. So we got to get better in the run, giving up 3rd downs too much. But then at the end of the game, critical sacks, critical turnovers, they did one hell of a job and made big plays when they had to make them.
Next question is from Christy Riken from the Associated Press.
When you have a game where you come out with the win, but you obviously didn't play as well as you wanted to, what's the message you have to your team after a game like that?
Exactly right. I thank them for the win. You found a way to win. There's not this, and there's something to that too. But you got to look at yourself and be very self-critical. And we do as coaches, we do as players. Why did those mistakes happen? What led to the lack of consistency? And you got to fix them. You got to take it. And I'm gonna promise you this: it's a lot easier to go fix mistakes when you win than when you lose. You can say that all you want, but a win is a win. And I'm not saying that either way, just because we won the game. But I've been in a long time. But like I told them, it's a bad week for them. We won, and I can be mad all week. So, and I got to coach better. So we can get them in the right mode and get them playing. Because listen, we got good kids. Those guys want to play. They play hard. It matters. We got to do as coaches, put them in that position to be successful.
Next question is from Owen Buchanan with TexAgs.com.
Jimbo, is it alarming that your offensive line had struggled to protect Kellen and to run consistently like they did against?
A little bit, they did. But the turnovers, and you could never get in a rhythm in the game. That was the issues with it. Like I say, for the first drive of 3 and out, then you go a great 75-yard drive. Then the next drive is a beautiful drive. You're right to the 2-yard line. Get a critical penalty. That you hit a screen pass out of it, get a holding on the tight end. We're at the 2. We have great play. Got to play just what we wanted. Got momentum in the game. And that's the other thing. When you get momentum in the game, you start playing well. Then we had a 3rd and long. You got to hold it for a second. And we couldn't hold it long enough. And got a couple twists at the end. But listen, you give them hope. You got a momentum in the game. They had a chance to win it, and they started feeding off of it. And we got to play better. So we'll see. I'll look at the film. Before I look at the film and the reasons why.
Next question is from Jennifer Streeter at the Battalion.
Hi, Coach. How did you feel about Mon connecting with Spiller and Smith tonight?
Getting the ball, I thought Isaiah and Ananias both, you can see their unique abilities to run the ball, catch the ball. They're a good tandem to have. They're really good football players and have a lot of versatility. So I thought we used them well. Like I say, Isaiah had 100-some yards on both of them, had 8 carries and 10 carries. Like I say, we only had 55 plays in the game. So in that regard, I think one had 8 for 117, one had 10 for 51, and I think Ananias had 2 for 27, had a couple big plays in the passing game. So from that regard, I thought both of those guys did a good job on the offensive side of the ball. We just had a critical clamp down at the end, and we had a critical special teams with Anais on that one. We got it, but they're both really good players. And we'll clean it up. We're going to give them the ball a lot. They're good players.
Next question is from Alex Miller at the Eagle.
Hey, Coach. Not a lot of targets on to Jalen Modemeyer and Anais Smith tonight. Was that by design?
I can't hear. I'm sorry, I couldn't hear what he said. We had him or we didn't have him? Yeah, we did. We had some design there, and we just, they got covered, didn't get there. We had probably 5 to 7 on both of them, different times, with just decisions in the game. They were covered, and we tried to hit a big one at the end right there to him, to Jalen. Ball's a little low, got to make a catch, and he got to get the ball up.
Is that good for you, Alex? Okay.
I was going to ask, was the design to get other looks to other receivers?
I can't hear what he said. No design to look to how they went, and other guys, yeah, we had looks the other side, but we had looks to them, and they got covered or got taken away. I think we had about 7 balls called to the tight end at least, and probably had 4 to 7 with a nice and plus his carries, plus special teams. So we were going to try to get him 20, touches in the game. And there were some backside routes to him that the reads went front side, and a couple of them third downs that we got critical. And those things, 1 to 18, 2 to 5. There was backside routes to him that were primary too, but by the coverage and what they played, it took Kellen front side, and he hit all 3 plays. Man, they get 18 for almost 18 back come out of there for a touchdown on one of them big slants. And then 5 caught 2 great flat routes because of how they played it. We had the routes called backside, and Kellen read it, went front side, and made 2 good, great third down pickups right there.
We need to close Cedric Golden's mic, please. And the next question will be from Gabe Bach.
Yeah, Jimbo, I noticed Demas didn't get into the game, at least on offense. I could be wrong, but I didn't see
him.
He
didn't.
Is he just not quite ready?
No, we had some other guys in there. It's such a tight game in a critical situation. Listen, he's been practicing real well. He's going to be a heck of a player, and we'll get him involved. Tonight at the time when things was going, just wasn't the right time to do that right yet. But he's going to be a really good player, and he's been practicing very well. He and Moose both have done a really good job as a freshman group.
All right, the last question on the queue is from Justin Woodard at KAGS.
Coach, what about your defense able to force a couple turnovers? And so on the board anyway, the turnovers weren't so skewed towards Vandy because you were able to get some of those.
Oh, those are big turnovers now. Those are big stops, big sack. Got a couple big sacks. I know Mike got a big sack at the end of the game. We got a couple. There was another one in there. I can't remember who got it. We were down about to 20. It set him on the 30. I don't remember who got that sack off. Who was McKinley? I think he had another freshman there, McKinley, and got a couple guys had some penetration. Those were big sacks. And then he got the 2 critical turnovers. Got one there. Damani had one, and I think, and then 9 had one, if I'm not mistaken. That was a big pick coming out of there. So thought they did a really good job in that, and that was big. I mean, those are 2 critical turnovers right there.
That's all the questions we have for you, Coach. You're done. Thanks.
All right, thank you guys very much.